Well, good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Today, you have the Rhino, and we're looking at a beer that I picked up just today. I went looking for it, but I moved it over here already. That's how excited I am about this beer. I forgot where I even put it. So this is from the brewery right around the corner from my house, from Malty. I love this style of beer. I believe this is a golden variant, but most of the beers of this style I've had have been in porter form. This is Multinational's London Fog. And I'm going to bring this up here so you can see this. This label is fucking amazing. I almost want to get that tattooed. That looks great. Hey, Multinational, if you ever watch this, you want to pay half the price for it, I'll tattoo it right there on my forearm. Everybody can see it from now on. Like, this is the best beer. Well, I don't even know if it's actually going to be a good beer. This is 5.5% alcohol by volume. Brewed with Earl Grey tea and vanilla. Beer brewed, canned in, well, it's canned in March of 2024. Wait a second. Today is May 5th. I believe it was May 2nd or May 1st that this beer was announced. So you canned this in March. And didn't say anything about it until now? I could have been drinking this since March. You know, back in March, I actually had expendable income, right? Okay. Again, I love the graphics on this. I really do. Again, I've loved pretty much every London Fog I've had, from the one I had back at Niagara College Teaching Brewery all the way on. I've had several London Fogs. High Keys London Fog was fucking spectacular, and that's one of the few beers that I was glad you get in a 4-pack. I was really glad to get it in a 4-pack. Now, this was my birthday gift from my wife. She bought me one of these and one of their Sultanas. Well, I say she bought me them, but what she did was hand me her debit card and send me into the brewery to buy them myself. But I have it. So Multinational, again, right around the corner from me. This is on 15th Avenue here in Regina. I'm really, really excited to try this. So we're going to put this here so that we can put the beer up on it and let you see the can. We're going to open her up. Try not to get much splash out of there. Much sploosh. So it is a golden beer. There's the beer. And there is the can. That can is... You know, Multinational's cans usually don't have all that much to them. They're there, but they're not there, if you know what I mean. Like, they're usually pretty simple. This one and the other one I picked up from them today are very in-your-face cans. I'm actually somewhat surprised at how in-your-face they are. Head is fading. There is a snap, crackle, pop, but it's not as intense as it sometimes is. Like, I can't hear it where I am. Even when I'm quiet, I can't hear it, but right there, I start to hear it. So let's go this way so you can see. Right there. That's where I start hearing it. Hazy crazy. I do not see my hand. And I do not see my finger. So very hazy, very nice. Nice golden color. The haziness, yeah, bright white head. Oh, interesting. Not what I expected out of a beer that is brewed with vanilla and Earl Grey. I'm almost smelling like citra hops out of the can. Okay, out of the can, I do pick up a little bit of Earl Grey. I do pick up a little bit of the vanilla hoppiness, vanilla sweetness. Listen, guys, my brain, and anyone that watches our live streams can get this. I'm 42 as of a few days ago. I've had a lot of trauma in my life. I've had a lot of head trauma in my life. My synapses are starting to misfire. I hope it's not dementia like my grandparents have all had and stuff like that. But my synapses are starting to misfire. I'm starting to say things that aren't what I really was trying to say, and it's a little scary at times. But it is what it is. Keep going forward, right? Yeah, I get a sweetness on there. I get the Earl Grey. What I was hoping for is what every other London fog has been for me, which is something that would make me like quote Patrick Stewart, Earl Grey, hot. Ho, 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 ho. Anyway, cheers. I still love that Jean-Luc Picard had an English accent. Love it. Fuck, who gives a shit what it smells like? Oh my god. I still smell citra hops. Like, I do get Earl Grey and vanilla out of the can, but I get citra hops out of the can as well. And I don't even think they use citra hops because there's no reason to use citra hops in this beer. But that's what I smell. But what I taste, who gives a shit what I smell? What the fuck is this shit? I only fucking bought one. That's a beer I want like 12 of. I do. I want more. I want to send these back to all the reviewers in Ontario and all that. All the reviewers I still talk to, I want to send them a copy of this beer. I want to send them a can of this beer. Again, Synapse is not firing properly. Fuck, that's good. What the fuck's going on up there? That's a fucking good beer. That's a fucking good beer. That's a fucking good beer. Now, normally, I do these, first and last and blah, 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 blah. I'm probably going to upload this tonight, even though I have one review after this, albeit it's a non-alcoholic review. I will probably upload this tonight because they still have this beer. And there are a few people that watch my reviews from Regina. And if I could get them to sell this beer out really quickly, that would be great because this beer is divine. This is a great beer. Okay. Looks great. Can art's great. Scent, not so much for me. Taste, even the London Fog Porters taste a lot like this. Lots of vanilla. Lots of Earl Grey. You get a little bit of that botanical bitterness on the sides of the tongue, but the Earl Grey goes right from the top of the tongue to the back. The vanilla goes right from the top of the tongue to the back. This is actually a really good beer. That didn't come out right. This is a really good beer. This is actually a really, really impressive beer. Now, they said this won like beer of the year last year, and I could see that for them. The one beer I want to try from them, and it'll probably be out by the time I talk myself into doing it. It's on tap only, and it's an imperial stout called Demerit, and it is with black licorice. And the main reason I don't want to drink it is the black licorice. But the main reason I want to drink it is their stouts have been divine. So I'm really curious how that one would be. But I don't want to... I'll probably hate it. And I mean, that doesn't normally stop me. But if I have to review it at the brewery, I don't want somebody to hear me talk about me hating it. I don't have, and most of you that know me know that a lot of the breweries that I've been friends with, or a lot of the breweries that I've made good relationships with, I've had beers that I've loved and I've had beers that I've hated. All the way down to John Romano in Burlington at Nickelbrook. I loved most of his beers. There was beers I hated, and me and John became really good friends. But I would still admit to beers I didn't like from him, and I would admit them to his face. But I'm brand new in Saskatchewan. Nobody really knows me. There are a few people from district that are like, "Are you the Albino Rhino?" I had one guy at multinational actually talk to me. "Are you the Albino Rhino?" Yeah, I am. So I mean, these guys don't know me well, right? Chris at Regina is the only one that really knows me. I've interviewed with Mark at Rebellion, and I'm good friends with people that are good friends with Mark. But Mark doesn't know me. No one here knows me, so I'm trying because I would love to get into the brewing industry again. I would love to actually be a member of the brewing industry, but I'm in a new province. I'm not known, so I'm trying not to ruffle too many feathers, and my personality ruffles feathers. You either love me or you hate me, and that's the way it is, and it's fine. I'm okay with that. My ex-wife hates me. My current wife loves me. Like, my ex-wife has hated me since the day we were together. My current wife has loved me since high school. So I mean, you either love me or you hate me, and that's the way it is, and it is what it is, and I just don't want to be heard disliking the beer because I want to try it, because I want to give it a shot, but I know it has a thing in it that I don't like, and that doesn't normally stop me. I try IPAs, even though IPAs are probably one of my least favorite styles. And I try them because I always end up finding an IPA that I'm like, oh my god, I didn't expect to like this. And I know that they are the big fad and they are the craft beer, like, let's get behind this and all. So I get it, but it's at the same time, it's something I know that I don't normally like. So I try to steer clear of them. These guys actually have had some IPAs out that I haven't gone to pick up because I'm like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to like it. And that's fine. I don't have to like it, but it's one of those because I'm trying to claw my way back into an industry that I've been out of for 6 years. How do I do it while still being 100% truthful to myself and to my viewers and to the breweries that I review? And for me, it's picking and choosing at this moment what I drink, and then once I get past all the beers that I've picked and chose, then going into the beers that I have a feeling I'm not going to like, but by then I might have made a name for myself to the point where it's not going to rub my nose in shit. And I don't care about rubbing my nose in shit, but like I said, I'm at the point in my life where I want to do what I want to do. I want to get into the stuff I want to get into. So even though I can't get an interview from anyone who's hiring ever in this city, I don't want to destroy my chances of getting that interview with somebody. That being said, that all being said, I was excited about this beer, and usually when I get excited about a beer, I get let down. A lot of times I get excited about a beer and I get let down. Say like Black Oak's double chocolate cherry stout. That one let me down. I was so I hyped it up so much in my mind, and then it really let me down. I hyped this one up so much in my mind, and I picked up the can. And I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing! I didn't do it in the brewery when he handed it to me, but I got into the car with my wife, and I'm like, the can looks great. And she's like, are you a 5-year-old? And I'm like, maybe you sleep with a 5-year-old. But I got home. I opened it. I poured it. I'm like, okay, I figured it was going to be gold from the advertisement they did. And I smelt it, and I'm like, I'm going to hate this. And then I drank it, and I'm like, oh my god, I like it. It is what I like. London Fogs. Okay, if you like Earl Grey tea, if you like vanilla, this is right up your alley. Um, it's a medium mouthfeel. Lots of vanilla. Lots of Earl Grey. It is a citrus hop of some type because it almost has a creamsicle flavor on the back end. You all know how much I hate creamsicles, but because of the Earl Grey, it works so well. I don't think it smells like Citra, but I don't think it's Citra. But it has that almost blood orange flavor, which mixes with the vanilla and the Earl Grey heavenly. Uh I love this beer. If you're in Regina, you need to try this beer. If you're anywhere where this beer is sold, you need to try this beer. If you've never had this beer and you can get this beer, you need to get this beer. That's 9.25 out of 10. Cheers. What could make it a 10 out of 10, you ask? Make it into a porter and add just a little bit of chocolate and a little bit of roastiness to this. And I think at 5.5% alcohol with all these flavors, but a little bit of that chocolate and a little bit of that roastiness, this would be a perfect beer. Cheers.